This is the broadcast of Back Roads of Illinois. We are bringing latest agricultural news and markets update on Back Roads of Illinois. Bring you like inside of the markets and interview with people in the agricultural industry for farmers and ranchers in central Illinois and across the Midwest. Today's edition of Back Roads of Illinois. We were Central Illinois agriculture source, and in the Midwest alongside in Central Illinois agriculture, we were glad you're here on a Monday afternoon. We were going to talk about the federal crop insurance on the Farm Bill for this year. We watched the Farm Bill for this election season in Washington, D.C. We were talking on to Doug Yoder from Country Financial and the headquarters in Bloomington, Illinois. I apologize for a couple days before departure on Wednesday. I was busy with my relative from Florida because of the Hurricane Milton. Thanks God their trailer in down St. Petersburg, Florida. This hurricane season is active one for this year. I will be gone for tomorrow again, but I will be here for tomorrow. However, everyone is really busy with the harvest. We don't want to go to be both their responsibility for this time of year. Otherwise, this is for your agricultural news and markets update on Back Roads of Illinois. This World in Demand Estimate report was bearish for Friday's report on the markets. It was down at the trade for Friday afternoon. The yield was unchanged. The corn yield is unchanged at 183.4 bushel per acre. Soybean numbers has been unchanged at 51.2 bushel per acre. The Hurricane Milton was powerful storm in the west coast of Florida, but it was Category 3 with wind upward to 186 miles per hour in Tampa Bay area. It were hitting on the Gulf in Tampa and in St. Petersburg. This harvest season is completely done for corn and beans at rapidly pace of the above average of the harvest season in central Illinois. We were coming back with Doug Yoder from Country Financial in Bloomington, Illinois. Stay tuned on Back Roads of Illinois. This is your opening bell numbers of the commodity markets from Kyle Bumstead from Allendale Inc. Corn futures are down at 5 to 10 cents. Soybean futures are down at 5 to 4 cents. Wheat futures are down at 3 to 5 cents. This is your livestock trade for this morning. Cattle futures are up to 9 to 5 cents. Feeder cattle are down at 4 to 6 cents. Lean hogs are down at 5 to 4 cents. Crude oil are down to 9 to 11 cents. Dow Jones are up to 8 points. We are going to talk about the federal crop insurance on the Farm Bill for this year. We watched the Farm Bill for this election season in Washington, D.C. We were talking on to Doug Yoder from Country Financial and the headquarters in Bloomington, Illinois. How are you?
I'm just fine,
The
Cesar.
weather forecast for this harvest season in central Illinois.
The weather forecasts here where I'm at, I'm located in Champaign right now, but I do quite a bit of traveling. think it's pretty favorable for harvest conditions continuing. I've got to admit it's a little dry in places. I see a lot of dust kicking up and some low moisture content in both corn and soybeans. Probably could use a little rain, but maybe a little too late to help the moisture content at this point anyway.
Let's start with our conversation about updating on crop insurance on the Farm Bill for this election season. Everyone is having some concerns about federal crop insurance on the Farm Bill.
Well, the good news I would say on crop insurance is it will continue even if a new farm bill does not get passed timely. We're fortunate in that crop insurance has a separate bill authorizing its continuity, its continuation. Now, what will happen if the farm bill, well, let's just say the farm bill does not pass timely, crop insurance would continue next year for the 2025 crop year, just as we know it today. Now, if the farm bill doesn't pass, that means any new features, though, would not be announced. Oftentimes, the farm bill does include maybe some new directions for the USDA Risk Management Agency or some new options they want to offer farmers through crop insurance. So, it not passing a farm bill would not give us access to any of those new tools. But even if the farm bill does not pass, we will still have crop insurance as we know it today for next crop for 2025 crop year. That's the good news. Need updated coverage from those programs.
Doug, could you tell our listeners in Central Illinois where they are not supported for the both parties are not getting anything done with ARC and PLC by Congress?
Yes, that is a concern. And it's not just the farm bill that we're not seeing timely passage of. There's a handful of very important bills that we have to worry about as well. If it was just the farm bill, is that the only thing on their plate in the lame duck session? I may be a little more optimistic, but it's not. There's other important in legislation that they're behind on as well that they have to address. So they're literally running out of time. And as our listeners, as your listeners already know, we extended the farm bill once a year ago when they were unable to pass it a year ago as they should have. And now this year, we're probably looking at a second extension. So we're already 2 years into being late with the renewing of a farm bill. As I mentioned, the worst part of that, I think, for Illinois farmers is just the untimely updating of the ARC and PLC tools. And it's sure anything's possible. I hate to outguess Congress what they will or won't do, but here we sit mid-October, and with the election 3 weeks away, it's really hard to envision them getting a meaningful farm bill passed this calendar year yet. Of course, it's still possible. They say they're working on it. They say it's still possible, but I don't think too many farmers out there really believe that, and neither do I, sitting here as of today anyway.
You mentioned in the lame duck session, but what's next for ARC and PLC?
So as it stands now, since they're extending this farm bill again, so ARC and PLC remain the same. They will operate the same as they have for the last 5, now 6 crop years. So for the 2025 crop year, farmers will have until next March 15th. March 15th of 2025 will be the deadline for them, as we know it today anyway. That will be the deadline for them to go into their local FSA office and choose which of those 2 programs they want per FSA farm number. Now, of course, all of this is subject to change if Congress does all of a sudden get some new farm bill passed. But if they do not, then ARC and PLC, the calculations would remain the same, the formulas would remain the same, and the deadline to sign up would be the same at March 15th.
Do you have any concerns about this farm bill for insurance wise?
No. Well, yes and no. I mean, on the big picture, crop insurance itself will continue even without a new farm bill because it has standalone legislation authorizing it permanently. So we will have crop insurance next year, even access to crop insurance, even if a new farm bill does not pass. However, if a new farm bill does pass, then we may be able to see some new features, maybe see some new tools, may see some new subsidy levels helping make this very expensive crop insurance more affordable. So obviously, there's downsides to not getting the farm bill passed on the crop insurance issue. But even if the farm bill does not pass, farmers and landowners will still have access to federal crop insurance next year, as they know it today.
Do you have any final thoughts on our conversation on today's program?
I would encourage all of your listeners to remain in contact with their elected officials and remind them how important updating the Farm Bill, getting new, updated, up to date tools, safety net tools such as ARC and PLC, reference prices. I would encourage your listeners to never be bashful about letting their elected officials know how much we need a new Farm Bill. And there's much more to the Farm Bill than just ARC and PLC. There's 10 chapters total, typically crop insurance and would be one. The Title One commodity title with ARC and PLC would be a second, but there's other numerous titles, including conservation practices and numerous other features. So we definitely have other reasons to need a farm bill passed timely. And we've already missed that mark last year, and it looks like we're going to miss it again this year. So I guess my last thought would just be to continue to engage, look for Farm Bureau action requests, and be willing to jump in and contact your local official and let them know how important it is for us to get timely passage of a new updated farm bill.
Where people can find you for your consulting services in central Illinois and across the state?
Yes, I'm the crop agency manager with Country Financial, so they can certainly look me up there on countrycrop.com, or they can simply send me an email. I'm at Doug.Yoder at countryfinancial.com. I'd be more than happy to converse with any of your listeners about crop insurance or the Farm Bill.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you very much for having me on. I greatly appreciate it.
This is Doug Yoder from the headquarters for Country Financial in Bloomington, Illinois, on back roads of Illinois. This is close bell numbers of the commodity markets from Kyle Bumstead from Allendale Inc. January feeder cattle plus dollar, 350 closing at $237.60. December live cattle plus dollar, 150 closing at $1.187.925. December lean hogs $1.850 closing at $75.800. December corn -7 single quote for closing at $4.08 single quote 6. January soybeans -9 single quote for closing at $10.11 single quote for December. Chicago wheat -13 single quote 6 closing at $585 single quote 2. December KC wheat -14 single quote for closing at $5.90 single quote 0. Closing quotes provided by Kyle R. Bumstead Branch Office Manager Erickson, Nebraska Allendale, Incorporated. Thanks for Allendale Inc. for this markets update on back roads of Illinois. Thanks to Doug Yoder from Country Financial in Bloomington. We're running out of time on our show, but you can listen to our show wherever you get your podcast. This been Back Roads of Illinois. I am Cesar Delgado. Have a good day.